I need you guys to help me out a little bit with what I'm doing today. So pretty much where you're situated is perfect. Maybe just like you can move back a little bit. Okay, cool. I'm going to begin with some invocations from the Muse. This is the Oxford English Dictionary. Epistemology, theory of the method or grounds of knowledge. Modernism, modern views or methods, tendency in matters of religious belief to subordinate tradition, to harmony with modern thought, modern term or expression. Agency, active operation, action. Instrumentality, action personified, office of agent. And waste. Desolate, desert, uninhabited, uncultivated, result of natural barrenness or ravages or catastrophe. Monotonous or presenting no features of interest. Superfluous refuse. Leftover after use. Useless byproducts of manufacture. Hold back, men of Ithaca, from the wearisome fighting, so that most soon and without blood you can settle everything. So spoke Athene, and the green fear took hold of them, and in their terror they let fall from their hands the weapons, which fell all on the ground at the cry of the goddess speaking. Striving to save their lives, they turned in flight toward the city. With a terrible cry, much enduring Odysseus gathered himself together, made a swoop like a high-flown eagle. But the son of Cronos then threw threw down a smoky thunderbolt, which fell in front of the gray-eyed daughter of the great father. Then the gray-eyed goddess Athene said to Odysseus, son of Laertes and seed of Zeus, resourceful Odysseus, hold hard, stop this quarrel in closing combat for fear Zeus of the wide brows, son of Cronos, may be angry with you. And I'm just gonna make sure these are covered. Okay, you ready?
Pitching it to you?
Okay, somebody want to do a reading from Plato for me?
The purpose of line, therefore, is not primarily to give a classification of objects. Both the two states of mind correlated with the intelligible realm deal with the same kind of object, the forms, though each deals with them in a different way. And though in the physical world there's a difference between physical things and their shadows, that difference is primarily to illustrate the different degrees of truth and genuineness about what is apprehended. We know
Richard,
Oh, you know that's fine.
yeah, that's right. You got this.
It is easy to see why some people have wanted to separate parental care from the other kinds of kin-selected altruism. Parental care looks like an integral part of the reproduction, whereas, for example, altruism towards a nephew is not. I think there really is an important distinction hidden here, but that people have mistaken what the distinction is. They have put reproduction and parental care on one side and other sorts of altruism on the other. But I wish to make a distinction here and now between bringing new individuals into the world on the one hand and caring for existing individuals on the other. No!
Hard Gartner? We broke down, as I had expected, and had to lie up for repairs at the head of an island. This delay was the first thing that shook Kurtz's confidence. One morning, he gave me a packet of papers and a photograph, the lot tied together with a shoestring. Keep this for me, he said. This noxious fool, meaning the manager, is capable of prying into my boxes when I'm not looking. In the afternoon, I saw him. He was lying on his back with closed eyes, and I withdrew quietly, but I heard him mutter, "Live rightly, die, die." I listened. There was nothing more. Was he rehearsing some speech in his sleep, or was it a fragment of a phrase from some newspaper article? He'd been writing for the papers and meant to do so again. For the furthering of my ideas, it's a duty. Sorry, but maybe you can stand over a base here. There we go.
well.
And it's good to try and toss it.
Right there.
Roll marks, someone?
However lightning-like it may be, the punctum has, more or less potentially, a power of expansion. This power is often metonymy. There is a photograph by Cortez which shows a blind gypsy violinist being led by a boy. Now what I see by means of this thinking eye, which makes me add something to the photograph, is the dirt road. Its texture gives me the certainty of being in Central Europe. I perceive the referent. Here the photograph really transcends itself. Is this not the sole proof of its art, to annihilate itself as medium, to be no longer a sign, but the sign itself? I recognize with my whole body the straggling villages I passed through on my long ago travels in Hungary and Romania. There is another, less Proustian expansion of the punctum.
Encounter. No one?
A House of Voices, recommended by the Poetry Book Society. Mr. Hall's new poems are about goodbyes, death, and mourning after death, childhood, wry human situations, and love. All the technical accomplishment of his last book, The Burning Hair, is here, plus flashes of humor not previously associated with his work. £1.50. Patrick Dickinson, A Wintering Tree. Patrick Dickinson has always been commented for the way his craftsmanship has matched his imagination, an extension of subject. The poems here present a new...
Got some Tropic of Cancer by Henry Miller. All that mystery about sex, and then you discover that it's nothing, just a blank. Wouldn't it be funny if you found a harmonica inside or a calendar? But there's nothing there, nothing at all. It's disgusting. It almost drove me mad. Listen, do you know what I did afterwards? I gave her a quick lay, and then I turned my back on her. Yeah, I picked up a book, and I read. You can get something out of a book, even a bad book. But a cunt? It's just a sheer loss of time.